The year 1977 unfolded with its usual rhythm of disco beats and political tremors, but one particular event shattered its ordinary facade, etching itself into the annals of aviation mysteries. News reports, breathless and disbelieving, detailed an incident that defied all logic. A passenger plane, identified as Flight 407, had landed with uncanny precision at New York's JFK Airport. The chilling, almost supernatural detail that sent shivers down the spines of seasoned air traffic controllers and veteran ground crew alike was this: there was no pilot, no co-pilot, no crew, and not a single passenger on board. The behemoth of metal and machinery had simply glided down, touched the tarmac, and taxied to a halt as if guided by an invisible hand. Initial confusion quickly morphed into outright disbelief, then a frantic scramble for answers. The aircraft was undeniably a Boeing, its registration confirmed, but its origin, its trajectory, and the sheer impossibility of its arrival remained an impenetrable enigma. Assigned to this unprecedented case was Alex, a seasoned aviation safety investigator whose professional detachment often masked a deeply personal wound. Years prior, his sister Sarah had vanished on a flight, leaving behind a void that no official report could fill. Every unexplained aviation incident since had been a cruel echo, a reminder of his own unanswered questions. Flight 407, a ghost in the machine, offered a sliver of desperate hope, a chance for redemption, a way to finally confront the inexplicable forces that had taken his sister. He arrived at the cordoned-off aircraft, the silence around it profound, almost reverent. His first impression of the plane's interior was unsettling, pristine, orderly, devoid of any signs of struggle or panic. It was an eerie stillness, a perfect snapshot of a journey that should have been, but wasn't. Alex began his meticulous examination, his gloved hands moving with practiced efficiency. In the cockpit, tucked almost carelessly into the instrument panel, he discovered a single faded photograph. It depicted a young girl, perhaps 5 or 6, her smile bright and innocent, standing beside a warm-faced woman. A family, he mused, a life left behind. Further into the cabin, beneath a seat, lay a child's drawing, smudged but clearly depicting an airplane soaring through a blue sky. These were poignant, human touches that deepened the mystery. Who had left them, and where were they now? A critical piece of the puzzle, however, was conspicuously absent. The flight recorder, the so-called black box, was missing. Its absence was a gaping hole in the investigation, a deliberate removal or an impossible oversight. Theories began to swirl through the task force. A sophisticated hijacking by an unknown entity, experimental technology gone awry, or something far more sinister, a force beyond human comprehension. Alex, however, felt a growing unease, a cold certainty that this was no ordinary incident. As he continued his search of the cockpit, his fingers brushed against something hard and smooth, wedged between the co-pilot's seat and the console. He pulled it out, a small, intricately carved wooden bird, its wings spread as if in flight. The craftsmanship was exquisite, but it was the bird itself that snagged at a distant memory. He vaguely recognized the symbol, a fleeting image from his past, a forgotten story waiting to be told. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. The wooden bird, a delicate piece of art, felt strangely heavy in Alex's hand, its smooth surface whispering of forgotten tales. It was a tangible link to a past he couldn't yet articulate, a haunting melody stirring in the depths of his memory. His investigation into Flight 407 quickly led him down a path far stranger than he could have imagined. The aircraft, a Boeing 707, was traced back to a small, almost mythical airline called Horizon Air. The name itself sounded like a forgotten dream, and for good reason. Horizon Air had ceased operations abruptly, decades prior, vanishing from the aviation landscape as mysteriously as Flight 407 had appeared. Further digging revealed a chilling coincidence. Horizon Air had been embroiled in a controversial incident years ago, a plane disappearing without a trace over the Atlantic. The official records were sparse, almost deliberately vague, but the details, when meticulously pieced together by Alex, painted a disturbing picture. The missing Horizon airplane was none other than Flight 407. This revelation deepened the mystery, twisting the narrative into something far more perplexing. How could a plane that had vanished decades ago suddenly reappear, pristine and empty, in 1977? It defied logic, shattered the boundaries of conventional understanding. The implication was staggering, hinting at forces beyond the realm of known physics. Alex felt a cold dread settling in his stomach, a premonition that this case was inextricably linked to the unresolved grief of his own past. Driven by an insatiable need for answers, Alex tracked down Alara, a former Horizon Air flight attendant, now an elderly recluse living in a quiet, isolated cottage by the sea. Her home was a sanctuary of faded photographs and dusty memories, each artifact a silent testament to a life lived and lost. Alara was initially resistant, her eyes holding the haunted look of someone who had seen too much. The past was a heavy shroud she refused to lift, but Alex's persistence, coupled with his own unspoken grief for Sarah, resonated with her. He spoke of unanswered questions, of the lingering pain of disappearance, and slowly, cautiously, Alara began to unburden herself. She spoke of the original Flight 407, not as a forgotten relic, but as a living, breathing memory. She described the pilot, a man with a troubled past, his face etched with unspoken burdens. And then there was the co-pilot, a brooding figure, whose singular obsession was a unique wooden bird carving, precisely like the one Alex had found. Alara revealed a deep, unspoken rivalry festering between the two men, a tense undercurrent that permeated every flight. It wasn't just professional animosity. It was personal, visceral. Alara's voice, though frail, gained strength as she recounted the final flight, the one that had vanished. A sudden violent storm had erupted, lashing at the aircraft with furious intensity. But the tempest outside was mirrored by an even fiercer one within the cockpit. A heated argument, she recalled, between the pilots, fueled by a personal betrayal involving a woman they both loved. The co-pilot, consumed by vengeance, had tampered with the navigation system, his intention clear: to divert the plane, to punish the pilot in the most agonizing way imaginable. The pilot, realizing the catastrophic intent, fought back, a desperate struggle for control. Alara described the horrifying moment the plane entered an inexplicable, unnatural turbulence, a phenomenon unlike any she had witnessed before or since. It was as if the very fabric of reality was tearing apart around them. Tears streamed down Alara's weathered face as she confessed her final, most chilling memory. In a last, desperate act, just before the plane vanished into the swirling vortex, she saw the pilot activate an experimental, unapproved emergency landing system. Then, silence. Only the echoes of a lost past remained. Alex, his mind racing, began to piece together Alara's harrowing tale with the fragments he had unearthed. The plane, Flight 407, had not merely disappeared. It had been caught in a temporal anomaly, a cosmic rip in the fabric of existence, triggered by the tempestuous storm and the pilot's desperate struggle. The co-pilot's vengeful tampering with the navigation, the pilot's fight for control, and the activation of the experimental landing system had converged to create a unique, catastrophic event. The plane had been displaced through time, a ghost ship sailing through decades, only to reappear in 1977, brought back by the very system the dying pilot had engaged. It was a perfect landing, but one devoid of its original occupants, their fates sealed in a different dimension, a different era. The faded photograph of the young girl and the woman tucked into the instrument panel now held a profound significance. They were the pilot's family, the very reason he had fought so valiantly, a poignant reminder of the lives he desperately tried to save. The child's drawing, found under the seat, was a testament to innocence lost, a simple dream of flight shattered by an unimaginable ordeal. And the wooden bird, now resting in Alex's pocket, was no longer just a curious artifact. It was a tangible link to the past, a symbol of both the devastating betrayal that ignited the conflict and the pilot's ultimate self-sacrificing act. It was a gift from the woman both pilots loved, now a silent witness to their intertwined destiny. A wave of understanding washed over Alex. a clarity he hadn't experienced since Sarah's disappearance. He realized the co-pilot's act of vengeance, born from a love twisted into obsession, combined with the pilot's desperate attempt at salvation, had not only caused the original catastrophe, but also created the time displacement. This wasn't merely an accident. It was a cosmic consequence of human choices, of love and betrayal, played out against the backdrop of an unforgiving sky. He understood, with a chilling certainty, that his sister Sarah's disappearance might not have been a mere accident either, but perhaps a similar, inexplicable event. A journey into the unknown that defied conventional explanation. This realization, though it offered no immediate answers about Sarah, brought Alex a profound sense of closure. He wouldn't find her, not in the way he had always hoped, but he now understood the profound, almost mystical forces at play in such tragedies. His investigation report, meticulously detailed yet filled with theories that bordered on the fantastical, was met with bewilderment by the authorities. They filed it away, deeming it an unsolvable mystery, a bizarre anomaly. But for Alex, it brought a personal peace, a quiet acceptance of the universe's vast, unexplained complexities. He had found his own resolution, not in concrete answers, but in understanding the nature of the unknown. The official explanation for Flight 407 remained deliberately vague, a bureaucratic euphemism for "we don't know." Yet Alex knew the truth, a truth too strange for the world to accept. He visited Alara one last time, finding her gazing out at the endless sea. They shared a quiet moment, two souls bound by shared sorrow and an unspoken understanding of events that transcended time. The wooden bird, now a permanent fixture in Alex's possession, served as a tangible link to the past, a constant reminder of both human fallibility and the enduring power of love and sacrifice. The story of Flight 407, the plane that landed without a pilot, faded into a haunting legend, a testament to the mysteries of the universe and the profound, far-reaching impact of human choices, echoing across the vast expanse of time itself.